Welcome back to the channel, Part-Time Camper. Today we're going to be taking a look at a refrigerator slash cooler that I bought. It's a 12 volt or 110, 240. It's made by a company. The name of the company is F40C4TMP. It's a Chinese company. So we have a Chinese cooler here. It was not the cheapest cooler on Amazon, but it was one of the cheaper ones. So it was regular $269.99. They had a coupon on there when I bought it that brought it down to $239.99. With tax and everything, it was $250 something. So I bought it. We'll go ahead and unbox this thing, and then we'll go over some of the stats on it, and then we'll probably run some tests here and see what they say is true. So here we go. We'll just get it out of the box real quick. Here, so it's got an outer box. It also has the box that it's inside that box. So some foam on top of the cooler there. See if we can get this thing out of here. It says it weighs around 30 pounds, so I don't know if it does. I'd say it's about right. So hang on a second, we'll get this set on top of the box here, so you guys can take a look at it. So there it is. Box this thing. So, as you can see, I don't know if you can right there, the name of the company, the F40C4TMP. We'll zoom in right there and see if you can see that. So, yeah, it's a little hard to see, but anyway, that's the name of the company. Yeah, we'll go back.
The Bluetooth device is ready to pair.
Okay, so we'll take a look at the cooler here. So the dimensions on this is 22.68 inches by 12.6 by 15.51 inches. And inside the cooler, the dimensions are 13.96 by 12.36 by 9.82 inches. So that's the dimensions on the cooler. It claims that it only needs 15 minutes to get from 77 degrees to 32 degrees. So that's something we'll test and see how that actually happens. It has a battery protection for your 12 volt battery in your car if you have it plugged into your car. So there's different voltages at low, medium, and high. So there's different voltages. When it gets to certain voltages, your battery, then it'll automatically shut the refrigerator off itself so it doesn't drain your battery in your car. So you have those settings. So you can run this off a 12 volt cigarette lighter in your car, or the 24 volt system, and it will run off a 110 outlet in your house, or 240. So it has a lot of options as far as powering the thing. So anyway, let's take a look at what's inside here and take a look at this. So here's the package inside.
Cool looking refrigerator.
It's a nice looking refrigerator.
Yeah, nice looking refrigerator.
It does look nice. I like the looks of this thing. So
yeah, I do too.
yeah. So we'll get back to going through what's inside this box here, okay? Right. So have inside here instruction manual. I believe these are extra feet for the bottom of the cooler. Yeah. So they send you, I think there's a couple of them in here. So you got a couple extra feet. Instruction manual, a couple extra rubber feet go on the bottom. Here is the 12 volt cord. So there's your 12 volt plug. That's got a lot of pressure on the end of that. That's, wow. There's your other end, which will plug into the side of the cooler. I'll show you that here in a second. So there's that. That's quite long. That thing's, I don't know, that I haven't stretched it out, but I would say that's probably 8 to 10 feet long. So that's quite a bit, which if you're in your vehicle, you may need that to get to your cigarette lighter, depending on where the fridge would be. So inside this box is the 110 adapter. So there's all that, and that's what it can run on. So instruction manual. When I was looking at all these Chinese coolers, one of the things people said was, you know, the English wasn't very good in these things, but this appears to be okay. Looks okay to me. There's the electrical schematic, the wiring schematic, and here's your high, medium, and low modes for the refrigerator. So, you know, on high mode, when their battery would hit 11.3 volts, then it's going to shut itself down. On the medium mode, it's going to shut it down at 10.1 volts. The low mode, it will shut off at 9.6 volts. That's pretty low on your battery. I probably would not use this mode myself. I'd probably just stay on the medium or the high. Probably do the high. You don't want to get yourself stranded wherever you'd be at. So, but that is a nice feature that's on this refrigerator. Here it just tells you about the panel, what the buttons do, your on and off switch. This is your unlock, lock button, so that you can set your things there. Your temperature increase and minus. And so we'll go over all this. It has a max and an eco mode, obviously. So if you want to get it cooled down real fast, you could just put it in the max mode. If you don't care, you just plug it in, put it in the eco mode. It'll get cooled down a little less time, but that's everything. But no, the instruction booklet's, it's decent. It's got all the stuff in it that you need to know. Tells you how to operate it, everything. So anyway, there's some troubleshooting in the back, cleaning and maintenance. So that's that. So it is a decent looking cooler. The screen's nice. It does have a USB charging port right there. Charge your phone, I guess. If you're in your vehicle, I can't see you using that. Maybe if you're at your campsite, maybe. And you had this plugged into the 110 at the campsite and you wanted to charge your phone outside, I guess, real quick, you might use it for that. I don't know. Anyway, so the lid is magnetized. You can see it pull itself down there. So it seems to seal up pretty well. There's a seal around the lid. It's got a chain here so it doesn't go all the way back, overextend. Here's another company logo. This here shows the temperature settings for different foods and drinks and different things. So you do have a separator in here. To my knowledge, the whole thing would get the same temperature. This is just in here. You want to put your drinks on this side and your food over here, I guess. So anyway, there's that. If you want to take a look down inside there, it's fairly deep. Not quite to my elbow deep, so, but that'll hold quite a bit of stuff. We'll have to get that on video too. Maybe we'll put some stuff in there once we test it out and everything. So there's the lid. It is a compressor refrigerator. It does have a compressor. It's down in here. There's the vents for it on the sides. So so here is your plug-ins. That's where your adapter goes in, whether you're using the 12 volt or the 110 adapter. Both of those will plug into here for your power source. So He's got your handles on both sides. So anyway, that's basically the cooler. So now we just need to get it plugged in and, you know, run some tests on it and see how it operates. We're actually heading to Cincinnati, Ohio this weekend. So we'll probably use this in the van for the first time this weekend. So we'll try it out. We'll put some food in here and take with us. So anyway, we'll do some tests here in a minute and see you then. Okay, so we'll go over the operation of the cooler here, and we're going to let it run for a little while and see how long it takes to get down to 32 degrees is where we're going to set it. So to turn the... Oh, one thing I did not mention, this is a 30 quart version of this. So I think they make like a 20 quart and then like a 53 maybe, something like that. But this is the 30 anyway. And so the power button, you just hold it down a couple 3 seconds, it'll come up. So I'm not going to be able to do the test that they say from 77 to 32 degrees. I don't keep my house at 77 degrees. So I got it up to 64 here. You can hear it kick on there. It's actually, I think it's really quiet for a little refrigerator cooler with a compressor in it. It's not that loud. Don't know if you can hear it. I'll sit here. So anyway, so it's got the max eco mode. You can't, I don't know if you can see it, but right here's the max and eco. So to change that, you just hit the set button and push it again, and it'll blinking in eco, and then it'll lock in place there. And again, you just do the same thing, hit it again. So you're hitting it twice basically to go back and forth between max and eco mode. So we'll leave it on max mode for now, and then just adjust the temperature. You know, here we go. So we're going to shoot for 32 degrees. That's what we're going to set it at. So we'll put it there. And then you can do Celsius and Fahrenheit. So you hit the plus button and the set button here. Hold them down for 3 seconds. There you go. It's Celsius. So just do that again, and it will bring it back to Fahrenheit. Okay. So for the medium, high, and low settings on here, you just hit the set button for 3 seconds. So there's your high, medium, and low over here. So then you just, well, there we go. You just push that. There's low, medium, and high. I'm just going to leave it in high. I have it hooked up to 110 right now, working. So, but anyway, that's basic operations on the fridge. That's everything. So pretty easy to operate. It does have a voltage readout here. Right now it's reading 14.5 volts. And if you look in the booklet here, I believe that it has to have a minimum. If I understand this correctly, it's going to have a minimum of 12.5 volts. I don't know if you can read that or not, but it's going to need a minimum of 12.5 volts to even run. So when you're plugged into your car cigarette lighter, you're going to have to make sure that that cigarette lighter is putting out at least that many volts, or this thing, I don't believe it will operate. Maybe it will, I'm not sure, but anyway, right now it's at 14.5 volts. So anyway, I'm going to shut this, and I don't know if I said anything about the divider, but it's on here. And if you notice, this screen just locked right here. There's a lock spot right here, so that way you can't change the temperature accidentally or anything. So to unlock it, you just press the unlock button here, the set button, for 3 seconds. It'll unlock it, then you can change your temperature. So but anyway, we'll do a test here, and we will see how long it takes to get down to the 32 degrees from this 64. So it's not quite the 77 they're talking about, but we will see what it can do. So we'll close the lid and let this thing run. It's on max mode. I'm not going to do the eco, I'm going to do the max. So here we go. And we'll be back and check on it here in a few. Okay, so I apologize. I may have to run this test again, but I probably won't. It's not that big a deal. I mean, how quick does it need to cool off to put stuff in it? It's not that big a deal. But anyway, I came back in here and it was already at 32, and this is where I stopped it at 19 minutes and 42 seconds. Now it's down to 30. It keeps dropping here, but the compressor kicked off. I'm guessing it got to 32 before the 19 minutes and 42 seconds. So anyway, that's pretty quick. I mean, if you would have filled that up with warm pop or, you know, water or whatever it may be, obviously it's probably going to take longer because it's got to cool all that stuff down in there. It continues to drop. It's down to 29 degrees in there. So, but the compressor has kicked off. So in my book, that's pretty quick. I would say it was probably more like, I don't know, I would say it was under 15 minutes, but I went off and did something else and kind of didn't pay attention, so apologize for that. But anyway, that's still fairly quick. So anyway, like I said, we're going on a trip this weekend to Cincinnati, and we're going to take this with us, so I'll maybe try and do a little video on that and, you know, what we're putting in it and everything, and, you know, see it running inside the van, and take you along for that. So we'll see you. Okay, we're getting ready to take off on our trip here to Cincinnati. Here's everything that we were able to fit in there. So you got the mayo, Sunny D, we got some water. You can see all the water and pop in this side over here. So all that fits in there. And then on this side, we got another Sunny D, a couple of drinks, Lunchable. We got 2 things of sandwiches down in there. There's a gallon of milk, more drinks, Lunchables. So this thing can fit quite a bit. And we got the divider in there. You can always take that divider out and give you just a little bit more room. So, and the lid closes just fine, no issues. So I was noticing you can actually stack it all the way up to this rim right here if you really wanted to. So now, one thing with this temperature gauge, I've been running some tests and stuff, and this temperature gauge is not going to be correct for what's inside. It's off, and it depends on what temperature you're on. So I set it on 25. And it usually stays inside. It'll stay around 38, 35 to 38, somewhere in that area. But it seems to be like there's about a 10-degree difference inside from what this is. And it seems to be always a little bit more. Now, when I took it down to like -7, I think is the lowest it'll go, or -8, then it will get there. And the temperature gauge will stay on like, say, 25 for a while, and then inside it's already down to like 0 degrees or -1, -2, and this thing still says 27. Well, then all of a sudden the temperature gauge, it will take off and it will get caught up to where the inside temperature is. So this temperature gauge basically is no good, is what I'm saying. So what you'd have to do is get you a temperature gauge that you can throw inside of here, is what I would recommend. That's what I've been doing to keep a track on the temperature. And you're just going to have to adjust this accordingly to get this where you need it in here. So this number's never going to be correct. You're just going to have to move it around and play with it, and you'll figure it out where it needs to be. For me, that's not a big deal. I don't care that this is off. I'll just get a temperature gauge, put it inside here. We'll know where we're at. This is not a big deal for me. I don't care. For the money difference in this compared to some of the name brand coolers and the price difference and everything, I don't care that that's off. That's fine. I'll just adjust and make the inside what it needs to be. So just a heads up, that there is not correct. It is off. So, and I actually had the temperature gauge in the bottom too. So, you know, it should have been pretty close, but it's not. So other than that, this cooler's works great. We're getting ready to take it out, put it in the van, and plug it in and head to Cincinnati. So anyway, I just want to let you know about that temperature gauge right there and just show you how much stuff would fit in there. So catch you on the next one.